Hello, I'm Georgie and I'm here to guide you through a 10-minute morning flow, something that's energizing whilst also gently waking up the body, waking up the mind, ready for the day ahead. So without much chatting, we'll just begin in a comfortable seated position now, whether that's on the floor or you're slightly elevating the hips. The idea is to feel a tall self-supporting spine, a broadness at the collarbones, a softening at the top of the shoulders. Now is a good time to close the eyes or just keeping your gaze softly downwards. And then just begin by noticing where your right sit bone and your left sit bone are rooted down. So getting a sense of where your body is in contact with the floor. And then in turn you find that tall self-supporting spine. And just start by drawing your attention to the breath. And you might notice the movement of the rib cage. You may notice a subtle sound on the inhale and exhale. But just start by simply becoming aware of the body, aware of the breath. And as you begin drawing your attention to the breath, a very subtle lifting of the pelvic floor, so just sort of engaging the pelvic floor muscles. And a drawing in of the lower belly. And then as you begin opening the eyes, just in a sort of non-linear fashion, begin moving the shoulders. It can feel nice to start moving the head side to side as we start paying attention to sensations within the body. We start noticing when we start changing its position, changing what our shoulders are doing, what our hands, what our legs are doing. And then we're just going to bring ourselves to tabletop. So you want to find your hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Begin by spreading the fingers wide. So anywhere that's rooted into the ground, you want to have a sense of space. And a sense of lift, so feeling the index finger and the thumb pressing down, perhaps slightly turning the upper arm out, whilst also keeping the thumb and index rooted, so this sort of spiraling action through. And then on an inhale, you're going to just bring the weight slightly forward over the wrists, drawing a circle with the sternum, and then exhale, send the hips back. Inhale, coming forward. So just sort of extending over the wrist a little bit, just to begin warming them up. Just go as far as comfortable and synchronize with the breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, and then go the other way. Exhale back. Maybe you can go a little bit further back this time as you begin expanding into the movement a little bit, growing into the movement. And again, synchronizing, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward. Maybe you can take the knees a little bit wider now, and perhaps you send it back into Balasana Child's Pose, just as far as comfortable. And if it's comfortable, just allow the forehead to rest for a moment on the mat. Take a breath in. And exhale. Inhale, coming back up to tabletop. And then with the toes tucking, you're going to lift the pelvis to come into downward facing. But keep the knees bent to begin with. So inhale, lift. Keep the knees bent. Find some more length in the spine. Push with the hands. And then it might feel nice just to straighten into one leg and bend the other. And then flipping it. Just to get a little bit of dynamic movement into your downward dog. Relax the head. Let the head feel heavy. Breathing into the side of the body, the back of the body, the length of the body. Take a breath in. Exhale. And then you're going to bring the feet forward,
but you're going to take them as wide as the mat. And stay folded, don't bring the head up yet. So we're just going to come into a fold. And here you can keep the knees bent so that the hands can sort of rest on the floor. You can sort of rest them in any comfortable fashion. And then when you're ready, just drop the head. Staying with the breath here, I'm just rocking gently side to side. Just shifting my weight more to the left foot, to the right foot. Again, not keeping it in too much of a linear fashion. The body's waking up. The muscles may feel particularly tight. It just needs a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. And then just holding onto the elbows. And again, you're just going to let yourself hang. Perhaps you can feel some lengthening through the spine, some lengthening through the back of the legs. And then just feeling where your toes are pressing down. So press the big toe down into the mat if you can. Good. And then really relax the head. We're going to really slowly bring our way up to standing by keeping the head tucked. We're just going to roll through each vertebrae. So with control, you can bend the knees a little bit, find some strength through the legs. And then just making your way back to a standing position, really slowly. So really curl into the spine. Allow the head be the last thing to lift. And then on an inhale, perhaps you find your way back to standing. Release the arms. From the front of your mat, we're just going to go through a sun salutation to find our way back to the floor. Inhale, you're going to raise the hands, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Again, you can really bend into the knees here, drop the head. Inhale, lengthen. Press into the hands as you exhale. Take the legs back. Pause here a moment. Find a strong plank position. So really engage through the legs. Take a breath in. Exhale, knees down, chest lowers. Bhujangasana, finding a slight back bend. So keep the hands where they are. Keep the legs firm, so the top of the feet pressing down. And then on an inhale, you're going to roll the shoulder blades away. Lift the chest, look forward. So really arching and lifting the spine. Exhale down, slowly with control. Inhale, lift the heart, look forward. And exhale down. Inhale, last time, you're going to lift. And then you're going to press through the hands, sending it back into downward facing. Pausing here for 5 breaths. Keeping the fingers wide. Drop the head. Breathing in. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then coming up to the top of the feet. So really just pressing through the balls of the feet, through the big toe. Look forward, put some weight into the hands if you can, just gently. And then coming to seated. You can either just bring the knees down, roll through, or you cross the legs, slowly lower. Legs come out in front. Here, if you're finding that having the legs straight means that you're sitting back a little bit, bending the knees, lifting, or you've always got an option to sit on a block, elevating the hips and staying here so you can try and get some lift through the chest, through the abdomen. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Here you inhale. Exhale, and as it's first thing in the morning, you might just want to rest the hands to the side, whether the knees are bent or whether their legs are straight. Resting the hands on the side of the body, on the side of the legs, or the peace fingers around the big toe perhaps. And we'll stay here for 5. 1. 2. 3. Really allow the body to move with the breath. 4. And exhale 5.
Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Finding a little bit of a hip opening now. We're going to find Janu Shasana. So staying where you are, you're just going to bring the right leg into a nice bent position, drawing the heel into the groin. If you're feeling like the knee's a bit too lifted, you can always grab a block, something to just rest the leg onto. Or if you've got any discomfort on the knee, sometimes having something to stop you going too deep into that range. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, finding a fold. Keep actively working the right hip. So you want to actively push down through the right hip to open. 2. Hands resting comfortably. You're not drawing the shoulders up too much to reach. You're finding a nice bit of balance. 4. 5. Inhale, tall, lengthen. Exhale, release. Switching sides. Good. So again, opening through that left side. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Again, making sure that the shoulders aren't hiking up too much. We're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. 3. 4. Last one, inhale. 5. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Marichyasana C, which is a twisting posture, a seated twisting posture. What you're going to do is bend the right knee, placing the sole of the foot on the floor. So you want roughly a little bit of distance between. And then as you lean back, you then face your chest towards the bent knee. So you're finding a rotation towards the bent knee. And then just wrapping the left arm around the right leg. You then start by twisting a little bit more, facing behind. So you're really wanting to rotate through the upper body. 3. 4. 5. Releasing. And then switching sides. So the left foot now draws in towards the sit bone. Lean back. And then that right arm can wrap around the left knee. And then again, you're just twisting through the upper body. So thinking of the left shoulder pointing towards the back of the room. And breathe into the side of the body. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. And exhale. 4. Release. And we're now going to just shimmy forward. And you're going to lie on your back. Bend the knees. Place the soles of the feet in towards the sit bones. Urdhva Dhanurasana. We're just going to find a half wheel. So pressing down through the feet. Begin lifting the pelvis. We're just going to stay here for 5. But you just want to push with a little bit of effort now. Really engaging the back of the body to lift the pelvis up. Opening the front of the chest. Breathing into the side ribs. 2. Maybe you can interlace the hands underneath, press into the shoulders. 3. 4. Last breath. And 5. Bend the knees in towards the abdomen. For a moment, 5 breaths, just straightening the legs and pointing the toes up towards the ceiling. Here can sometimes feel good to get a block placed under the sacrum. If you don't have a block, just staying where you are. 2. 3. 4. 5. And then exhale, come down. Bring the knees into the chest. And maybe with a slight rocking back and forth action, you might be able to bring yourself back up to seated. So a little bit of control to come up. And then exhale. And then we find, just as we do at the beginning, we find our seated position. Cross legs, half lotus, full lotus, doesn't matter. It's just about finding a comfortable seated position, tall, self-supporting spine, up through the crown of the head. And then closing the eyes for a moment, finding a moment of gratitude. I'm just going to end with an Om. So you can close your eyes, bring my hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Take a deep breath in Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There we go. Feel free to stay rested if you just need to lie down for a moment. If not, that is a cue to begin your day. And what a lovely way to begin your day, especially offering a moment of gratitude at the end, thinking of one thing that you're grateful for, and then take that into your day. Thank you.